Hey guys! So, sorry, my hair was like caught under my arm and I just couldn't lift my head. So today was good. Today, it's been kinda long, but not like, I can't say it's been like excessively long. It's just felt super, super long to me, but that's because we've kind of been doing a bit of everything. This morning, Gigi and I went to church, and I worked the sound, and because it's been like, honestly, it's only been a couple weeks since I've done it, but it's felt like it's been forever just because I don't pay attention when I'm there to begin with, except for, like, who the hell has to speak after the pastor, or the assistant, or whatever. Like, who speaks in what order. I don't pay attention to what they say, but, you know. Anyway, so the sound was a little wonky at first. I was a complete idiot and put the assistant speaker on, or the assistant's mic on, when I went to put the pastor's mic on twice. First at the very beginning and the second time in like the middle of the sermon, or not the middle of the sermon, the middle of the service. I'd be really bad if I did it in the middle of the sermon. That would just be like, the pastor goes silent, and then you can just hear the assistant, like, no, I'm kidding, and no, I don't breathe like that, but, yeah, after that, came home, I took stuff out of the freezer for Gigi, because she wanted to make the ribs tonight, so I took the ribs out. I took out, the bay leaves. I took out pretty much just about everything else you would need, including the vegetable, which was just corn on the cob, and it's not really kept in a really super cold area of the store to begin with, because it can kind of just be, you know, anywhere, without going bad. So, took that stuff out for her, and then I went to go hang out with one of my friends, but I was only gone for like an hour and a half. And to be honest, we just watched TV and talked because, like, Emma went to something similar to, like, Comic-Con, yesterday. So, yeah. And her mom was back home, and she's looking way better than she was, which is really good considering that she had 2nd and 3rd degree burns, pretty much covering 3/4 of her body. So, yeah. Came back home. Mom had come home like an hour beforehand. Not before I left. Mom came home after I left, but she came home like an hour before I got back. So she had been helping Gigi with cooking and getting all the stuff together and so on and so forth. And by the time I had gotten home, all that was left to do was wait like 15 minutes for the ribs to come out of the oven and throw the corn in the water and just wait for the ribs to get done, to be able to take out the potatoes as well. So, we waited, and I watched Garfield, which is what I'm watching now, actually. If you can't hear it in the background, I also played Farmville, Farmville 2, which is one of my favorite games, and I tended to my garden a little bit. But, yeah. Ate dinner, came back in here, been watching more Garfield, thinking probably not gonna go to practice in the morning because my shoulder is bugging the hell out of me, and I don't feel that great right now. Something's like really kind of messed with my stomach, so I don't want to be like feeling super ill or too sore to swim in the morning, so yeah. Although the suckish part about it is tomorrow's morning is the only day this week I can practice, because Tuesday night I'm not allowed to go because of my doctor appointment. Wednesday morning I'm not allowed to take the antihistamine so I can swim. And when I say that, I mean because the practice that we have on Tuesday, the the practice that we have on Tuesday and Thursday mornings is at the indoor pool, and the indoor pool uses salt and chlorine, and something about, like, the combination of the two makes me have, like, this acid burn type effect on my face. So, pretty much what happens is my face will get, like, really, really pink or, like, a really light red, and it'll feel like it's quite literally on fire, and it sometimes swells a little bit. Just, like, a tiny, tiny amount, to the point where you can't really tell unless, like, obviously you're my mother or my grandmother or something, when you're like, oh, shit, you're, like, broken out, or you're swollen, or whatever. But, yeah. And then Wednesday, I have my doctor appointment at, like, 9 a.m., and practice goes from 8 to 9:30, and where I have to go is, like, an hour's drive away. So, that's fun. And then Thursday we have a meet, which means Friday we wouldn't have practice anyway. So, I don't know. It's gonna be a really, really weird meet Thursday, because I wouldn't have been able to practice at all this week, which is really rare for me, because normally I'm at 4 out of 5 practices in a week, so, or 4 or 5 out of the 5 practices in a week. I try to not miss as much as possible, if that made sense. I mean, I try to be there as often as possible. I try to miss as little as possible. I think that made better sense. I don't know. Anyway, so, yeah, that's pretty much been what I've done, and I guess I will just talk to you guys later. See ya.